We'd like to hear your views on two more subjects on the newspapers. Page 7 of the Standard, NEMA slaps ban on shopping bags, and also the issue of the Cuban doctors. It's been raised several times, even with the health committee. They've been saying that they're being mistreated over there. But let's start with the NEMA issue, and it's also the front page of the Business Daily. Shoppers to pay more in fresh carrier bags ban. Kenyans are going to have to dig deeper into their pockets. First, it was the ban on the plastic paper bags. Now it's another ban on this one. So it's supposed to be non-woven carrier bags that are not being allowed. Was this well thought through, Mheshimiwa? Let's start with you. Because Kenyans keep digging deeper into their pockets, not knowing what exactly they need.
It is not different from the dam saga. This is somebody who somebody has set up. Somebody needs to go to court to stop NEMA. I'm already involving myself in this interest rate, which we shall discuss later. So some people have to do it. And let me tell you what they are doing. Somebody has manufactured those things, the ones they have to want to be new, and they will flood the market even by evening today. Then they will have their scale. Just this issue of corruption. There's nothing can be that corrupt. If NEMA thinks those bags are bad, you have Parliament to go there and say a wrong decision was made. But then you look at the effect on the economy, because you know who is suffering here. Before NEMA came, before these new bags came and the ban on plastics, we were not paying when you go to the supermarket. Very true. And
Mheshimiwa, I understand where you're coming from, but also take a look at NEMA and the sort of impact it has had. The plastic wastage, plastic paper bags in Nairobi have reduced as much as Kenyans are having to pay for it, but in terms of the environment, we've seen a positive effect. This is one of the Sustainable Development Goals. Countries such as Botswana have been doing this for 10 years. Yeah.
Well, there are very few countries. Why doesn't America do it? Why doesn't the loudest noisemaker do it? The world's largest economy. You know, sometimes this issue of copy-paste is what has run us into problems with our laws. Because we do laws that don't make sense for our consumption. The point I was trying to raise is, you know, there's nothing wrong with conserving environment. But there's everything wrong in a scenario where the traders are not paying for it. The consumer is paying. You know, I love issues of consumerism. Somebody must wake up and protect consumers. And I want to say this because I know the state is watching. Please stop NEMA. NEMA is rogue. And that discussion, for somebody to make that absolute statement without a scientific research, without the facts, scientific, it means I have been around. I know how they do it. I know how they did the other one. Because the day they ordered plastics out of the market, the other goods were here. The other were the ones we have been paying for. And people were paying for. How did the importers know that those things, somebody was going to make that cutoff and the time invest their money in that in that affair? So
you feel it was predetermined?
Even this, worse yet, the way, because the other one succeeded, this one is more predetermined. Who is to complain? Is it NEMA or the consumer? If we have gotten rid of plastics and it is working, I have not complained. Have you? So what is NEMA doing? It's NEMA. Does NEMA go shopping? Okay. You see, let us keep our solution simple, and I can tell you that this shadowy figures behind this plastic thing, you know, you are talking about billions, because when you go to a supermarket, you pay as much as 40 bob for those plastic replacements. We don't even know what they are. We don't even know what they are made of. All we are doing is praising government for some action which is meant to flood people's pockets with money. And I think there is no difference between this damn thing, where monies were paid for a dam built, in quotes, in a thicket, and things being supplied for a problem not being there.
Shiv?
Just very quickly on the matter. I think firstly we're just seeing global economies moving towards a trend of conserving the economy. So Kenya actually having brought in a ban on plastic and actually implementing it is commendable to that extent, because the last thing we want is a littered, dirty economy. And especially if you look at plastics, biodegradables, they take over 100 years to degrade in the economy. A lot of Kenya's GDP is from tourism. Masai Mara, our national reserves, our beaches.
Yeah.
The last thing you want is some place which is dirty and no longer appealing.
But was it thought through? Because there's the ban on the plastic bag, now there's the ban on this one. Why didn't they just ban and give us an alternative from the onset?
In terms
Say
of
that
the
we're
ban
banning plastic,
on
this is the alternative, period.
In terms of the ban on non-woven bags, it's one of those difficult ones, because once you have plastic, at the end of the day, I can carry anything. I can take my briefcase to a supermarket and carry what I want to out of there. So I believe we still need to take a step back and ask ourselves, what is actually usable? Is it that it can be, is it biodegradable? Can it be used multiple times? Can we see the data behind the ban? Because we can see the data behind the ban on plastics. It's there for everyone to see.
Chief, is it possible for us as a country to maintain a healthy, eco-friendly environment while businesses are still able to profit?
You can definitely do it if everything you're doing is sustainable. So you have to ask yourself, I mean, we're in real estate, in technology, in government, in manufacturing. You ask yourself if your activities are sustainable. Are you doing more to protect the economy than you're to protect the environment than you are in terms of damaging it? So yeah, but in terms of bans on non-woven bags, it's important that we take a step back first as an economy and ask ourselves, really, where do we want to be spending time as well? Do we want to create a conducive business environment, or are we now focusing on petty things? So,
okay. Peter?
NEMA, I think, is going in the right direction in terms of implementation of, in terms of ban on plastic, but the implementation part is where they are failing. Everywhere in the world, we are going green. We want to conserve environment. I think each one of us here has experienced that the weather, the temperatures are very high because of global warming. So we should all go green. But now I think when NEMA didn't think it out, because they should have protected the consumer, in that the government should have come in and subsidize or set a budget for the bag, so that this burden cannot be passed to the common mwananchi, so that the common mwananchi doesn't feel the effect, because now the inflation is high, cost of goods and services is high, and then when you go shopping and then you are told to buy the bag, now the price will go up. So they should check on that. Felix,
your feelings?
Now, I have three terms to join the two stories with technology. There is copy-paste, what Mheshimiwa talked about. There is haste, and there is interest. Now, basically, those three terms in relation to the plastic bags, Mheshimiwa said that we are very good at copy-pasting laws. So that is copy-pasted, and that's the reason why you would ban plastic bags. And then after that, you say even what we have replaced plastic bags with is also not good enough. But if you didn't copy-paste, you would actually have said, we are banning plastic bags, and when we ban the bags, this is what we are replacing with. In the technology space and in the printing space, you actually go and say, if you need printing on this paper, you are actually told what is the grammage of this paper. This paper and the magazine paper are different. So you can actually go and specify, print for me the newspaper on this paper. But why can't we say that, print for me recyclable plastic bags or carriage bags, and they should be in this gauge? That is what should have been put in the law that was put in place. Haste, of course, we wanted to do it very fast. Interest, I think Mheshimiwa has mentioned that. Now, it's the same thing with the dams. Why do we have e-citizen that works very well for people to get government services online, and we still have procurement being done in a manual process?
Right.
It is because there is haste and there is interest, and they need a situation where there is manipulation. You cannot manipulate getting services on e-citizen. So why do we have a part of government conforming to technology and the rest of government where interest and haste is a lot?
I get you. So it's like choosing where it will work.
Yes.
All right.